All right. Hey, everybody. It's On Screen, Off Screen, back with another great episode. We've got Josh, the greatest guy in the entire world, and Lauren, who is the greatest camper extraordinaire adventurer this side of anywhere. She's amazing.
I thought you were going to say, also the greatest guy.
No, she's the greatest this side of Lithuania. We had
Oh,
this
yeah.
Greatest this side of
last week.
Lithuania. I was going to come up with something else. I actually had something. There was an L word that I was going to use. And this is Lauren, but I can't remember what it was.
Do we remember where Lithuania is?
Yeah, it's right by Russia.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's like Russia.
It's in
I
that
mean, a lot
area.
of things are right
All that
by
sucks,
Russia.
and then you're great
that
right
area,
after.
it doesn't share a border with Russia, so I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
say
right there on
right
planet
by
Earth.
Russia.
It's pretty close to Russia. It's pretty
It's
close
pretty
to
close
Russia.
to Russia. There we go.
It's
pretty
right there
close.
on planet Earth.
It's right there on planet Earth. Just like, Cuba is just right by Russia. It's so close. Basically, right next door neighbors. Anyway, just a little bit. All right, guys, let's go with our first topic from Josh. What do you got?
All right, so for my first topic, I chose, which I knew nothing about this topic. I picked it because the cover has Jennifer Love Hewitt with tattoos.
Okay. Oh, Josh, I love that you did it. She's so hot. She's so hot.
And IMDb doesn't have it rated very high, so I didn't really have very high
But
expectations.
Jennifer Love Hewitt is
but
just
it ended
so
up being an
attractive.
artistic take on religion and God and Christ and that kind of stuff. You've got Jennifer Love Hewitt who plays
barely.
this girl. She plays the barista. Her coworker he's got a crush on her. You've got this couple that meets each day for lunch or brunch or whatever time of day it is that they're getting their coffee. And you've got the owner who's also a writer, so he's always in the corner just writing and doing things. You've got all these different characters, and then you've got like this Okay, and you have like this big guy, and he's kind of like this techie guy who's working. You have this owner of the cafe who's sitting and he's writing, right? Um, and the big guy gets this little 12-year-old girl who video chats him and calls herself the programmer. And this is all a simulation, and none of it is real. And you have like the doubt of this tech guy, and he's finally asks her, or she finally asks him, what do I have to do to prove this to you? um, and she says, well, or he says, well, something crazy, like have this beautiful woman walk in and tell me how much she loves me. And she criticizes him, and she's like, I thought you would have come up with something a little bit more extreme. Like, you could have had anything. You could have had all these things happen, and you chose a beautiful girl. And he was like, okay, well, fine. Uh, why don't you make that butterfly fly off the wall and tell me my favorite poem? And while he is saying this, this beautiful girl walks in, sits down, tells him how much she loves her, and then like puts her hand out and like uncovers it, and it's a butterfly who says a poem, right? And the whole thing is like, it's a very artistic take on like religion and God and faith, and how do you truly believe something or know something, or what makes this real versus not real. And in the end, this like chosen one, um, uh, has to choose to make the sacrifice for somebody else or to not and let something happen, right? Um, so I was not expecting this artistic, like deep take from this movie that I picked, because beautiful woman on cover with tattoos, and like I was just like, I don't even know what to expect from this movie. It's probably going to be terrible. Jennifer Love Hewitt, as gorgeous as she is, has kind of been doing Hallmark recently. Like, my expectations were not high at all. This is by far not a perfect movie. There's a point in the movie where the programmer says, it's they're dealing with the agency conversation, and like, why do bad things happen, why do we do things, and the programmer is like, it's important that I don't make you do anything. Like, I know what's going to happen, but I don't control you. I don't make these decisions for you. I don't make you do anything, right? And you go, oh, that's kind of cool. But the very next scene, she like makes characters walk in and start dancing. So I'm like, okay, so you make some people do some things, but not him because something or other. I don't. Kind of hypocritical there, but like, it is an interesting watch. I think it's worth watching. It's not great. It is kind of like super artistic, and the idea of religion is very heavy handed in it. But at the same time, that's kind of a good thing for this kind of movie. Um, and you get to see Jennifer Love Hewitt and tattoos. So that's enough of a reason for me to watch this movie, I guess. Um, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I do think 5.4
Wow.
is too low. It is worth watching. I don't know if I will rewatch it,
Okay. So is it more
but
like
it
six
is
point
one
five
I
then?
but I can recommend it. Like, I recommend you guys watch it.
Okay.
Not because it's necessarily good, but because it's interesting. Like I
Okay.
said, it's very artistic take on religion and Christ and all of those things.
Interesting.
And the whole movie takes plot place in this cafe. Now, like I said, there's lots of problems. For me, the biggest like critical problem with this movie is there's no way to know when time passes. So it's like, over the course of a week during the lunch period of all of these people who come to the cafe for to get a coffee for lunch or brunch or whatever it is. but there's no transition between day 1, day 2, day 3, day 3. So they just kind of like are doing things, and then you say, and now it's a new day, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't necessarily know it was a new day, but here we go. But yeah,
Cool.
it's interesting.
7. Okay, maybe I'll
Yeah.
actually check it out because that is interesting. That's an interesting concept.
Jennifer, interesting.
And Jennifer Love Hewitt is just super hot. I was saying when we had the break between, like, we had it shut down for a second. I watched Ghost Whisperer just because Jennifer Love Hewitt was in it. That's the only reason I watched that show. I don't think that show's that good, but she is ridiculously attractive. And if this is interesting, and she's ridiculously attractive, I can get behind that.
I don't think she's ever looked more attractive than she does in this movie.
That is
But I am a
large
sucker for
statement,
tattoos.
my guy. Large statement. All right, let's go to my first topic. My co-hosts reviewed this when I was missing 2 weeks ago. I'm doing both of those topics this week. First one is Bushwacked. And Josh, you selected both of these, right?
I selected Bushwacked. Odd Thomas was a fan recommendation.
Okay.
Just for a little review, I picked Bushwacked because it was my first and only real like sleepover experience because I wasn't allowed to have them as a kid. And we were doing a scout camp in the backyard that turned out to be a scout camp in the basement where we watched Bushwacked. And I got pranks pulled on me because I was the first one to fall asleep, etc., etc. That's why I picked it. It's been a long time. I've now seen it twice. At the time of picking it, I'd only seen it once. But there's your little thing of reminder why I picked this.
I wanted to say thank you for both of these topics because I highly enjoyed both. That kind of spoils it a little bit. But Bushwhacked is just a lot of fun. Yes, it's not a perfect movie, but it's a lot of fun. Have you guys seen Harry and the Hendersons?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this felt very Harry and the Hendersons to me, and I love that movie. It had a similar like vibe of fun, jokey quirkiness that worked for me. And Lauren's face was like, I hate this movie. I don't know what your review is, and I'm trying to guess, but I really liked it.
I'll give a little spiel when you're done.
Okay. The problem I had with this movie was actually the end, because like this guy still did like kidnap kids, and still should suffer some consequences. But instead, they're like, you know what? You did great this one time while you were fleeing the cops. Take them all on a trip. Go have fun. But it was wacky. It was enjoyable. It made me laugh. The guy is still like very much the Home Alone. Like he feels like the same character. Feels like this could be the same universe. But it was just enjoyable. I love the part where they're peeing off the hilltop because I'm like, that was so Scouts. We would absolutely did that. I've done that. And I could I literally have imagined somebody at the bottom of the cliff that we are peeing off getting peed on. I literally imagined that scene, and it made me laugh really, really hard. It was highly, highly enjoyable. I had a really good time with it.
What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would gladly rewatch this movie, but it's still only 7.5 is what I would rate it.
Okay. I think Lauren and I both landed at about a 6, if I'm remembering right.
Okay.
We both had the same complaint, but about different things.
Okay.
And that is, they had good jokes that they took too far too long.
Okay.
Right? So peeing off the cliff turned into getting peed on. Haha, kind of funny. And then you have the character going on about warm rain. And then you go, okay, now we're getting kind of gross. And then you had the, like, birds and the bees talk. They go, ooga! And that, to me, is the funniest part in the entire movie.
It was so funny. But then that went too long.
And then he keeps going, right? And it goes too long.
That one went too long.
And then you have the guy getting super glued, right? And he's in the car, and he's like, I'm trying, like, I'm trying to surrender. I'm not fighting back or whatever, right? and then it turns into him getting ripped off, and then he like screams for like a minute and a half. So it just like takes these kind of funny things and extends those jokes way too far. And like I think the only thing me and Lauren disagreed on is like which jokes were funny.
Okay.
Like if there was a joke that I thought was funny, Lauren didn't think it was funny. If there was a joke that Lauren thought was really funny, I didn't think it was very funny.
Most
So,
of the
like-
jokes in this movie worked for me. Genuinely. I had a good time.
So I think we kind of landed on like the same rating. Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think we're about the same. The reason
Yeah.
why I gave that face is because you compared it to Harry and the Hendersons, and the biggest thing that I can say that's different between those is I feel like Harry and the Hendersons is more PG. Because my mom would let me watch Harry and the Hendersons. My mom would never let me watch Bushwacked.
It doesn't have a similar vibe to you, though? Okay.
No.
The entire time I was like, this feels...
So anyone who doesn't know what Harry and the Hendersons is, it's this family that accidentally hits Bigfoot in their car, and so they take it home, but then it like wakes up at home with them, and so they're like trying to hide Bigfoot in their house. But then they end up being able to take it back to his family and stuff. But
yeah, they think that Bigfoot is dead and they're going to make a ton of money, but Bigfoot wakes up and kind of becomes a family member. It's a very wholesome, very enjoyable movie. The comedy felt similar.
Like this.
It felt very similar to this to me. Like, very similar.
You ready for this, Conlon? I think you're going to be pretty upset.
What?
Lauren and I both agreed that the comedy is very similar to Napoleon Dynamite, Hot Rod, Nacho Libre kind of comedy. It's just those same jokes that are just dragged out a little bit. So if you like that comedy, this would work for you, but to a lesser degree. And if you don't like that comedy, this will work for you slightly better.
I can see where you guys are coming from. Absolutely, I can see where you're coming from. For some reason, it's hard for me to explain this, but like it has the 80s cheese, so it feels different than those. Like they're not the same kind of movie, and this one works because of that 80s cheese. Like Harry and the Hendersons also works for me because of the 80s cheese. That's why there's no other movies that for me are quite like that.
Bushwacked came out in 1995.
It feels like an 80s movie to me. Like, very much like an 80s movie to me.
Okay. To me, it's the same comedy. It's the same kind of comedy. It's a little witty comment mixed with some slapstick. That's all the comedy is in all of those movies.
You didn't agree with that, Lauren?
I didn't think that they were like Napoleon or because once again I felt like this was a little bit more crass. I think maybe more like Hot Rod, but not like Napoleon and Nacho, because I feel like those ones are a little bit more PG than this one. But I guess like humor wise, I don't know. I wouldn't have been like, oh, you love Napoleon, you would love Bushwacked. Like
I wouldn't
draw those conclusions.
Me either. The sex part was crass, and that's the worst part of the movie because it does go too far. What other things were like really crass to you?
Well, it's just like the fact that it's like leading on to like it's not very. This is like very sheltered ish of like there was like smoking in it. There was like mentions of drugs, stuff like that. Like it's something my mom would definitely not have let me watch as a kid. Whereas like we did watch Nacho Libre, Napoleon Dynamite, all those other things. Like she didn't like them, but it didn't have those themes in it.
Didn't have the things that were like, you can't. We're just not doing that.
Yeah, so it's just like it felt like it had more of those like not like adult themes, but like more of the it's not something that Nickelodeon would put on, right? So it's like that's what I'm thinking of. Like the crash parts were the peeing off the cliff and the Birds and the Bees talk.
Okay.
But yeah, and then it just has like the other themes of like, and I'm not saying like, oh, I would never watch these things, but that's where I like see that there's a difference in between where this movie felt okay, like it felt like that stuff wasn't weird in that movie, but that's where I wouldn't draw the parallels to the other movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
It does, and I agree with you. I just still think that like the type of comedy is still the same,
Yeah.
which is what I was saying. Like I agree that like yeah, you wouldn't show your 11-year-old Bushwhacked, or you probably shouldn't. Like I watched it, right?
Yeah.
It does have a little bit more serious. There's a little bit more crass to it, but like the type of comedy, the way that they are making jokes is the same.
I guess
That's what I was saying.
yeah, that makes sense. Like if it's in a genre of things, it is in that genre. And then it's like a subcast of that genre that I'm not linking the subcast of genre of. Yeah, I see where you're
Yeah,
going.
because like you can say that about all of them. Like there's more serious things in Nacho than there are in Napoleon, and there are more serious things in Napoleon. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can like they are different, right? And I'm not saying if you like Napoleon, you will like Bushwhacked. Like I think the comedy is similar enough that if you like Napoleon and Hot Rod and Nacho, then this will also kind of work for you, but like I said, to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
But it's also not so constant that if you don't like those movies, this will probably work a little bit better for you.
That's
And
my
like
case for sure.
that's
Yeah.
where Conlon is. Like he hates those movies, but it's not so constant that humor that it works better for him.
And I'm the flip flop where I like those movies, but I don't like
So
this one.
it doesn't work as well for you, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's why I just have that problem of you like saying that it's like, oh yeah, since you like these ones, you might like this one. Since it's like the opposite for me and Conlon, where I'm like, I don't like this movie, but I like the other ones, and Con's like, I like this one, but I don't like the others. So
and I'm sitting here on an island saying they all just kind of suck. But
take our advice with a grain of salt. Watch this movie, form your own opinion.
So I'm curious. We talked about Lauren. What do you think of Harry and the Hendersons?
I love it. I love Harry and the Hendersons.
I do too. We should get Josh to watch Harry and the Hendersons.
Have you
It's
not
a
seen
great
Harry
movie.
and the Hendersons? I think
never even heard of it.
I feel like this is gonna be one where you're either gonna be like, or you're gonna be like, this was charming. This was a
I
gem.
agree completely, 100%.
Evidence is pointing to me not liking it.
Yeah. Since I think you'll
I-
like it, I don't think you're gonna like it.
No, because you're comparing it to movies that I don't like.
Well, I don't. What movies?
Bushwhacked.
It is not like Bushwacked at all.
I think it's like Bushwacked.
Not.
I
It's not.
love this movie, and there's a lot of heart. It's very charming.
I would put it in the same realm as. Have you seen The Borrowers?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, so I put it in that realm, and I think you guys should watch The Borrowers. It's good.
Okay. All right, let's go on to our next one. Lauren, we've talked about this topic, but I've never heard you talk about this topic. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I think that this has to be my favorite series now, because
Wow.
when did you introduce this to me, Josh? Like, it would have been when you were leaving for Hawaii, so that would have been last October.
You've been reading Dungeon Crawler Carl longer than that.
Have I?
Yeah,
'Cause I thought
probably a year longer. Because we were anticipating the last book, which was released February 2024.
Okay.
So it's been about 2 years.
I think it might have been like a year and a half. I don't think it's
Okay.
been 2 years. I am on my third re-listen of this series.
That's awesome. It's so good.
I love it. And I feel so bad because I think you remember telling me about it 2 years ago, because you were starting to listen to it and you were trying to get everybody to listen to it. And I'm like, okay, it sounds great. Not going to listen to it. And then, no, it's really good. I Yeah. I can't remember how you guys rated all of the books, but I do think that you guys said that they get better as they go on, except for this last one, you feel like it plateaued, which means that it's still really good. Um, but I think I'm on book 3 right now, so I'm on the Iron Tangle, and
That's my favorite one.
that I feel like that one's Josh. Is that one your favorite too? And like it's not my favorite. I always get so confused, and I get mad that I get confused. This book, because like normally I understand what's going on and I know what they need to do and I'm with them, but then in the Tangle I feel like freaking R2D2, and he's like, "You ready, R2?" And he just screams on the back of the ship. That's what I feel like in this book. And I'm like, I just have to go for your word that this thing worked because I'm not following with what's going on. Especially, which one's my favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the first ones, but I don't think that those floors are as interesting as the rest, but I like the setup with Meadowlark. Um, hmm.
For me, the third one and the first one are pretty close too.
Oh, really? The first one is my second least favorite.
And
or
like,
no, it's probably my least favorite. First one's probably my least favorite.
That's insane.
I love the first one.
I love the first one. The way it establishes everything.
Yeah.
You don't get any of the other ones without the first one.
That's true.
It's so
That's
good.
the same of any book?
No, some books you can skip the first one, like Fablehaven.
Anyway, this I'm trying to think of which one's my favorite. Like, of the floors, I think I like the 6th the best. That's where they have like the masquerade, right? Where they have the party. I really like that one.
That's my second favorite book.
Yeah, but I think that's like the only one that I would be like, I think this one's like slightly above everything else. Otherwise, like, they kind of are all the same, and then the 4th one's just slightly below, just because I get so frustrated with what's going on with all of the train cars, and then I don't understand what's going on. It drives me nuts. But I do like a lot of plot points that happen in it, and because you have the Hecla storyline, and you get Katya, who I freaking love, and they develop her so well.
So in one book, it's insane.
Mm-hmm. Like, she's in the tail end of the second one, but yeah, within the 4th one, she grows so much as a character. And there's like, so like, I love what's going on there, but with the floor, it's my least favorite floor because I'm so confused. I'm like, if I was in this dungeon, I'd be dead so fast on this floor. Like, there's no way I would have made it out of that floor.
I love everything about that book. I think the floor is genius. When I met him, my question was like, how did you come up with this? Because I think it's brilliant. It was one of his Patreon options, and I'm glad they picked that one. But he was like, I've been to a big city where you have to figure out the subway, and it's a nightmare. And I wanted people to feel like that. Like, that is super cool.
Congratulations.
You absolutely feel that way. 100%.
Yep.
And then the Katya scene where she's on the front of the train is one of my favorite scenes in a book, period. Like, that whole sequence is freaking amazing.
Well, and I love the aspect of Dungeon Crawler Carl where he gets pulled out of the dungeon and has to do like this media representation. So you have like an eye on what's going outside of the dungeon and what's going on in the dungeon, and somehow Carl's involved in both. And for like how dumb he's supposed to be, he is wicked smart. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I get so mad at B because I'm like, Carl is so good. What is your problem? Like, I hate B so much, but And to anyone who hasn't read the books, B is Carl's ex girlfriend, and right before the beginning of like at the beginning of the book, she posts a picture with this guy, and so she was cheating on Carl, and so he just like is like, hey, let you know I saw like that picture. It's over. I'll have all your stuff ready. I don't want any drama. Let's be over with it. And I was like, and throughout this, like Carl has that like no drama. I like how he's like straight up with people because there's this character Batista that they f up his whole quest, and he like goes up to him like straight up. He's like, "Hey, sorry, we effed up your quest. That was us. Sorry." And then it was just like so chill with everybody. And then they have like these recap episodes for people in the dungeon to see how other crawlers are doing and like what the universe gets to see of these people because it's all televised around the universe. And they make Carl look insane. And so when people like meet him for the first time in person, they're like, "Oh, you're not as crazy as they make you seem," because like he had to enter the dungeon in just his boxers because he went outside to go get his cat that was in a tree, or his ex-girlfriend's cat that was in a tree, and that's when like all the buildings collapsed and the dungeon opened up. So he was only able to get into the dungeon in his boxers and I think a jacket. And so everybody just thinks that he looks so insane. And then the AI that's running the dungeon makes it so that his boxers become like so magically beneficial to him that he can't get pants. And then gives him like these toe rings so that he can't get shoes, so that once again it's way more beneficial to have without that. And so it's the way this guy writes is amazing. About like how he writes the AI. Like there's so many times where there's just this character that I hate so much, and I was like, this came from the same dude who wrote Carl and Donut, and he wrote that a-hole. And so like I would have to like stop and think of that every once in a while. I was like, this is all in the brain of one dude. That's kind of freaky and cool. But yeah, I'm excited for when the next one comes out because really, whenever I get in between series now and I'm like, I don't know what I want to listen to, I'm always in the mood to listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl. Because it's not lighthearted, but it is funny and it deals with all of the themes that it has very well. And it's just enjoyable to listen to. And the person who narrates it is Jeff Hayes the narrator? Yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing. When I first listened to it, I thought that it was a cast of people and it was just Jeff Hayes, and I was like, wow, okay. Okay, bow down.
There is a full cast version you can listen to.
I do, but I would rather listen to Jeff Hayes.
Me too. I like it way better.
That's how good he is. Because yeah, they
other than Kronk. When Kronk comes in, he's a good. That's good.
Well, that's what's so funny is when I first started the first book, I was like, does the voice, because at the very beginning he does voice Carl very much like Kronk, and I was like,
he did it on purpose.
Ah, well, because like it fades away as he goes on, but I was like,
Jeff Hayes talks about it. He's one I follow him on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
So I see all other books that he's narrating too, but like main focus, like Matt Dinneman is also very active on TikTok right now, which I'm loving. But there's an interview with Jeff Hayes, and he talks about the characters and how he does them. And like with the exception of Donut, he's always trying to emulate something or someone. And then as the story progresses, his voice actually changes to kind of like become that voice. So when he started with Carl, he was very much like trying to do a Kronk impression because that's how he viewed him. And then it was like halfway through the second book, he says he found his uniqueness with Carl, where he was no longer doing that, but he was voicing Carl. And the only exception he has is Donut, because he was like, with Donut, it's like, what would a cat that is white, poofy, and part of, what do you call them? Beauty pageants?
Beauty
Yeah.
pageants, royal lineage
How would they
stuff.
sound? And he kind of just like did it. So like that is the only exception he gave in this interview, where he was like, this is what I did. Also in the interview, he said he voiced God damn it Donut in every single character's voice, and it was great.
That'd be great. Yeah,
That's awesome.
because I remember texting you and being like, does the actor who plays Kronk voice this thing? And he's like, nope, but he does later.
He never voices Carl, but
No, but
he voices Alpha Carl.
Alpha Carl.
And I love that was like an initial fan thing where they thought it was like Krunk, and so they got Krunk. Like it's great. It is great.
Yeah, I love that, because doesn't he play his dad as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also do like Alpha Carl. It's so funny.
He's coming back. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I also love when he like burns off his hair, so they magically try to make it grow back, and then it grows back like super long. And like him talking about like having to tie up his hair and like talking about having long hair, I was like, yes, that totally would be like so, oh my gosh, yes, you understand the hair ties. It's like so funny. But yeah, I think Matt Dinniman is an amazing author, and Dungeon Crawler Carl is amazing.
He's my example of like, you can keep trying and you will get better at things as long as you aim to get better and just keep going. Because his earlier books, I don't think are good at all. But Dungeon Crawler Carl,
I tried listening
fantastic.
to Kaiju. That should be my thing. I did not like it.
It's not good. He has another series that I also don't think is very good. But Dungeon Crawler Carl is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, I am really glad that you love it, Lauren.
Wait, hold on, time out.
Yeah.
What are Lauren's ratings of each book?
Of each book?
Each book. What is the first one to you?
I honestly don't have any problems with book 1. I would literally have to say a 10.
Okay.
And book 2?
Since I'm going to say all of them are 10s, except for the third one with the tangle, I would put as a 9.9, because I get so frustrated with the tangle.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that at all.
But yeah, I literally can't think of anything that's like wrong with these books. And like I said, I think that this has to be my new top series of books.
That's awesome.
Because, yeah, I love them.
Just really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Just really, really good.
It's really, really good. And like, there's times that like I can see a trope coming up in like any series, and I'm like, yes, I love this trope. But then I always get like sad because they don't do the trope like how I want it to go. And then like, there was several times that I was thinking that Carl was going to like have a love interest or something. And I was never disappointed that they weren't a love interest.
I'm super glad they never did that.
Yeah, so
super
like
glad.
I could keep seeing ones pop up, and I was like, I don't like this. The only person I could see maybe would have been Katya, but then I was like, I really hope that didn't happen.
Her and Bautista's so good.
Her and Bautista are goals. Yeah, I love her and Bautista. But there's like this one part where Katya gets a bow or something from Hecla, and Carl's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to kiss you. And like, but at this point, like, it didn't feel like it was like him actually flirting with her or anything like that. It like just very much felt like, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. Like, if Katya was a man, he still would have kissed her. Like, it didn't matter. But yeah, I was really glad that they didn't go that way. And like, So like I see tropes like appearing, and then I see him just take it in like a very satisfactory direction, and it doesn't end up like a trope that it was supposed to be, but it goes in a different direction that's satisfactory. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that other than Matt Dinman's amazing.
So all of them are 10s except for our favorite one. That's the only one you don't give a 10. Okay.
I actually agree with her on her
It is
what she thinks. It is
fair.
frustratingly confusing.
Yeah.
For me, it's my favorite, not because of the Iron Tangle. To me, all of the floors are cool and interesting, just in different ways, which I think is really spectacular. For me, the third book is my favorite because of the character development that happens there. You have Donut's character development. You have Katya's character development. You have Carl in that one where he decides he needs to actually be a leader, which is done extremely well. Up until this point, Carl was like, "You do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. Leave each other alone." And in that book, he's actually like, "Okay, I can't just leave everyone behind." And it's not for some holier than thou reason. It's not because he feels like he's stronger than them. It's because of two reasons. It's because of his humanity, his army background, and not leaving a man behind, and also screw this system. The only way to truly defeat the system is to get everybody to the end, not just me. So that's why it's my favorite. The Iron Tangle is cool, but I don't think it's any cooler than the circus in the second book. And I don't think it's any cooler than the battlefield in the newest book. And I don't think it's any cooler than any of the floors.
Okay. For me,
they're all cool.
It is cooler than all of them except for maybe the bubbles, because I think the bubbles are just really cool.
The bubbles, the one they skip?
No.
Oh, never mind. Oh, don't. Okay.
Yeah. The bubble lands. I think that's just a crazy, amazing idea. But I agree with everything that you say. I love the introduction of Prepotente. I think that is handled so well. Prepotente is fantastic.
So funny.
He's just so different than all the other characters and just done incredibly well.
I just love the goat screams.
The end of...
It's always right at the perfect time.
It's so good. And he like gets more and more of a douchebag, so just like scream right in your face.
Well, and like he's like such a deep character too, because like
so
you first meet him and you're like, oh, he's just a dumb goat, and then later it comes to where you're like, I would die for Prepotente.
Yeah. And he, in his last book, one of my favorite parts is him drinking his soda pops. Mother would only let me drink 2. And then he would like sneak a third one. And then he would drink it and he'd like burp in people's faces because he's Prepotente. And he's the best. He's the best. But all the reasons that you gave, and it has my favorite ending. I love the gods arise, smashing him with the foot, just barely surviving. It requires other people to get him out of that situation. It's not just Carl that's getting out. Like, he needs the team. And that's the first time he, like, really needs the team, which I really appreciate. It's just... The third book is perfect.
I forgot about Samantha.
Samantha's amazing.
How could you forget about the sex doll head?
I haven't gotten there on my listen through right now. So funny. She's one of my favorites.
What I think that they're doing with Samantha, I also think is super cool. If you guys have figured that out yet.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's great. It's amazing. Anyway, let's go on to our next topic. I'll do mine. Odd Thomas. This is one of my favorite movies that we have watched all year. I love this movie. I love everything about this movie. I think the creatures are cool. I think the acting is great. That's one of my favorite relationships in a movie, period. I found it highly enjoyable. I found it very sweet. The main girl is hot as hell. Like, straight up, she is so freaking fire sexy. It's ridiculous. And I love it. I love this movie. There are questions like, why does he work with the cop? Like, why does the cop work with him? How did the powers happen? I have more questions. I would love a TV show of this. I would love more movies. I wish I had more. My problem is that I don't have more because I love this movie. This is a 9 for me. I'm giving it a 9. I don't really have very many issues with it. Highly freaking enjoyable. Very, very glad I watched this.
Very good.
Yeah. What did you guys think? Base.
Lauren, do you want to give a little spiel since I did Bushwacked?
Sure. So it's really funny because Josh and I were like, Colin's gonna hate it because we love it.
Oh, I loved this movie.
So you actually like hit all of the things that like we loved about it too, like the relationships with Stormy and Odd. How we got in, like we went off about this movie. I can't even remember all of the things that like we went off about, but we liked the relationship between him and Stormy and how like in this movie you didn't need the tension of like, oh, Odd's gonna get arrested because he's Odd. But instead he had like the backing with his best friend being on the police force. You had Stormy who up like supported him the whole time. Like there's that one point she's like, hey, I don't like you doing that alone. Be safe. And then like he held something from her, but then realized, oh, she's gonna find out anyway, and she'll support me anyway, so I need to tell her things. And like the way those relationships, like how they handled everything, and how you didn't need the drama of the relationships falling apart for what was going on in the movie as well. To be like to enjoy the relationships, to enjoy what was going on in the movie. It had like enough mystery, enough like his powers were cool. Like I honestly don't think it needs more. I think it's perfect where it was. We both didn't like the ending though. So
okay. I did like the ending, and it made me actually appreciate the movie even more because I knew she was dead. I very much figured she was dead, but I wanted her to be alive so bad. I was like, please, please do the stupid thing. The better story thing is that she died. Don't do it. Have her be alive.
we liked that she died. We didn't like that the bestie cop was like, she's dead, bro. Because we're like, one, like trust your audience to be smart enough to figure out that like if you would have just left that ending like it looked happy and everything, but those who know knew that she didn't live because she didn't talk. Like let your smart audience know, but like don't treat your audience stupid. And then Josh brought up the point of that the buddy cop was cruel to do that, to either like let him believe that she was alive all that time, or to then pull him from that reverie and letting him believe that for that long. Um, yeah, so that was our little caveat, was that the cop dude was like, she dead, bro. But otherwise, masterpiece.
My question, I did have a question. She is getting really, really sad when and she's trying to keep Odd Thomas from following this guy and stopping whatever event is going to happen. Do you think that she got some kind of like vision? Was she a part of the power? Did she know that she was going to die?
No, she was a caring girlfriend.
Okay,
That's
that's
what
it?
that's why I loved her and his relationship so much. Is like she says, "Don't do this. Don't go to his house," and he does it anyway. And he admits it to her. And instead of doing the human thing of freaking out and being like, "I told you not to do that, and now you're hurt," she accepts that he's who he is and she loves him for who he is. So she responds with love and compassion. Like all she is doing is trying to get him to not focus so much on death. Right? She wants him to be focused on life and living and moving forward with their lives and not being so stuck on with great power comes great responsibility. Right? She's like, there's so much more to life. I want you to be focused on that. But at the same time, when he's not that way, she doesn't berate him or treat him poorly because he's not changing the way she wants him to. And I think that's something all of us in human existence can relate to, is having a previous partner or a current partner who is mad at us for not changing at the rate or speed or way that they want us to change to be. But in this one, it is pure acceptance, compassion, and humor. So their relationship is great. And that's all it was to me. I think it should have just ended with maybe she's alive, maybe she isn't. I'm right there with you. I already knew. I noticed she wasn't talking. But if they would have just ended the movie and let people kind of figure it out or believe what they want to believe, an Inception ending, to me that would have been a little bit better.
I can see where you guys are coming from. I wouldn't have liked that as much. It would have bugged me. I'd be like, give me a freaking answer.
I would have liked it, and the answer that they gave was the worst way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. That could have been done better. I agree with that. Could have been just a, hey man, it's been 3 months. You need to let her go. She's staying here for you. You need to let her go. And that could have been it.
I think that's equally as cruel.
I don't.
Letting him believe is cruel. He should have told Odd the second Odd was awake.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think letting him a little bit of time to grieve, be with her.
So he can't go to the funeral, so he can't say goodbye, so he can't accept what's going on. But you're just going to show up months later and rip it away from him?
He's recovering during the funeral time. He's not even going to the funeral anyway.
It's cruel. You should always tell people the truth. Plain and simple. Letting people live in a fantasy is cruel.
Sometimes people aren't ready to release the fantasy. I think that's okay.
But then that's Odd's choice, not Willem Dafoe's.
Yeah, so I think what Josh is saying is like he should have like said, hey, like, oh, what is there's this one show that I told you guys about, We Were Liars, where it has something like this, that she can't let go that somebody's dead, and people keep telling her that they are, but then she has like these migraines and stuff, and it's shown from her perspective, so she doesn't realize that this person's dead until later on when she can accept it, but people had been telling her that this person had passed, but she would not accept it, and so we're seeing it from her point of view of not having accepted it, and so that's why it comes to a shock to the audience, but the people in her life were telling her, but it was up to her to actually accept the reality.
Interesting.
What right does Willem Dafoe have to decide what he's ready for and what he's not?
The kindness of a friend.
I view it as cruelty.
To spend some more time with her?
To lie to him. To treat him like an infant who can't handle it.
I think he knows that she's dead.
Willem Dafoe knows. Odd Thomas does not.
Yeah, because the whole reason like she's still there is for him to process it, right?
Yeah.
But like William should have told him that, and then she still, like, if he still needed that processing, she still would have been there, but he could have spent that time like knowing to let her go and stuff instead of it just being an instant.
I took it as just kind of like, she's gone, man. It's time. Like, it's time to let her go. It's time to move on. You know that she's gone. It's just time to let her
Rewatch it.
go. Maybe
He's
I
telling
missed
her
it.
he doesn't realize that she's dead. That is him
Okay.
saying, she's dead, bro. Time to move
Okay.
on. And he is completely overwhelmed by it. He turns around and looks at her like, you haven't spoken for the last 3 months. I'm just connecting that now. Because that whole ending montage is him
That's true.
committing to her, wanting to marry her, wanting to move to Vegas, etc., etc.
That's true.
Willem Dafoe is cruel for not telling him the truth.
Yeah, so instead of planning the future, he could have been learning, like, spending those last moments with her.
Processing in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
What did you
Yes.
guys rate it?
Very highly. I can't remember.
I
think it
gave
was
it
like
a 9.5 out of 10 because of how much I love Stormy's character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, cool, guys. I'm glad we watched it. Whoever recommended that, you're fantastic. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. And it's way lower rated in IMDb than it should be because it deserves better.
Yeah.
And I want to read the books.
Funny was I watched this movie for the same reason Josh watched Cafe. I liked the actor.
Not a good reason.
I liked the actor Odd Thomas, and so I was trying to
Not
find.
a good reason.
I was trying to find other movies with him in it, and that's how I came across Odd Thomas.
Sometimes it's an okay reason, Josh. Sometimes it's okay reason. You
No,
just
it's
look
not.
at something pretty. It's
It's not acceptable.
I disagree.
It's only acceptable for Jennifer Love Hewitt. Anybody else is just wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
What
Just
about
kidding. Just kidding.
Emma Stone, my friend.
Yeah, definitely not okay for Emma Stone. There's this thing called TASM 2.
TASM
There's
2?
a thing also called Poor Things.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
There's also her porno.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad one. But now she's... this is side topic. She's not as attractive as she used to be, but that's okay.
Yeah, she is. She's still gorgeous. But, like, just don't watch a movie because she's in it.
Okay. Alright, let's go to our next one. Dark Wolf, Josh.
Okay, so this is the prequel to Terminal List. I absolutely love Terminal List. I love when filmmakers take the time to do things properly. I like that in The Pit, any medical scene is ran by actual doctors and not by a director. I like that in House MD, they take time to pronounce things right and to make the symptoms right and all that kind of stuff. I like when they take the time to make it accurate. House is probably not the most accurate thing in the world, but when they do that and they say, I want to show the truth, not the Hollywoodization of that thing,
Mm-hmm.
Midway is a great example of that. 13 Hours is another one where they set out not to make it Hollywood, but to show it. I absolutely love it when shows do that. And Terminal List is exactly that way. Not even remotely based on a true story. It's based on some books. But they took the time to show Navy SEALs properly, and I can appreciate it for that. Dark Wolf is the best prequel series I have ever seen. There's still one episode to come out, but it follows the antagonist of the Terminal List. You follow his story leading up to what led into his motivations in Terminal List, and it is done extremely well. They still, like I said, one episode left. Things could change. But as of right now, they start with him being an honorable part of the SEALs,
Mm-hmm.
and they slowly, methodically break down his belief system. So you see those cracks slowly forming throughout this series. And so it actually makes more sense when you watch The Terminal List why he did what he did.
That's cool.
I am absolutely loving this. I'm loving this so much that yesterday I was about halfway through the series, and I was pretty content that I would be reporting on half the series. But I turned it on because I was like, I don't really know what else I want to watch, and I really want to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got caught up. And I'm so mad at myself because I almost got a sneak peek at the last episode because Amazon Auto started playing it. And I paused it to use the restroom. And when I came back, it was like, no, this isn't available yet. I was like,
Dang.
no, it was there. It errored. It was going to show me. Let me see it. I could be the first one. That would be so great. But it did. I'm still on the edge of my seat for this one. So many times when they do prequel series, they ruin things, they over-explain things, they treat you like you're an idiot or this, that, and the other. This one doesn't, and it's truly great. This one is such a good show; it could stand on its own 2 feet. It's such a great show; it makes the original series Terminal List even better.
That's huge.
It gives you a lot of characters to love and care about, and leads into things, and there's a lot going on. I don't want to give too much away because it is a brand new series, but there is something that I did not see coming happening, and usually I'm pretty analytical and I can start picking up on things. This one took me by complete surprise, but when I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. That was really well done. I absolutely love that. So that's all I really say about this one. Right now, I'm absolutely loving Dark Wolf. I'm so excited for the last episode. I'm so excited for Terminal List Season 2. This is what Reacher should be. It should be completely standalone seasons, where in this one you see Chris Pratt in just like the first episode, and then it kind of goes off on its own plot. And even if you don't know who Chris Pratt is in the Terminal List, it's just fine because it doesn't really play a big role in this. It's just so well done. I didn't like Reacher Season 2 because they made it too much depend on the previous season. And like, these books are standalone books. They basically pretend that the other books don't exist 85% of the time. And they're great for that. It means you can have thousands of these books, these Tom Clancy books. And now you have this series stand on its own. There's a little bit of tie-in, but none of it is plot relevant. And it's great for that. So this is what Reacher Season 2 should have been like. And I'm really glad that they did it this way. And it makes me hopeful that Terminal List Season 2 is going to be more of the same, where there might be a little bit of crossover, but ultimately it's going to be its own plot, story, everything.
That's awesome to hear. I love Terminal List. I've read all the books I think that are out. And I was excited that the author was writing something specifically about this character because I thought there was a lot of room for expansion. I've watched the first 2 episodes and I've liked them so far. You just made me more excited for it, man. That's really cool.
Good.
What do you rate this one?
My tentative, waiting for the ending, because endings can make or break shows. But tentatively, I'm at like a 9.2 right now.
Okay, that's really good.
Like, I'm really liking it. Terminal List for me is like a 9.8. I absolutely love Terminal List. It's the best thing Amazon has put out to me.
I agree.
Invincible.
I think I like it.
Or the Dungeons and Dragons show. What's that called?
The Terminal List is better than the Dungeons and
Vox
Dragons
Machina?
show.
Vox Machina, yeah.
I like Vox Machina a lot, but Terminal List is better. Invincible, that's hard. That's the one that's hard.
For me, it's not hard.
Really?
Terminal List is way better.
What if you just compared Invincible Season 1 to Terminal List? Because I agree
Terminal List, not even close.
Okay.
For me, Invincible is really good, and I really liked it. but I have never rewatched it.
Have you watched Terminalist?
Yeah, like 3 times.
Oh,
I
wow.
love Terminalist. It's great. It is a fantastic show. It is so well made. I absolutely love it. Um, yeah, this one's it's not as good as Terminalist to me. Maybe that will change in the last episode. We'll find out next week when the last episode actually comes out.
Awesome.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's great.
With that, let's go to our shared topic. And let's start with you, Lauren. I'm very, very, very interested about what you guys are going to think about this show.
I did not finish it because I hated it. I got past the man-hater song, where they're like in prison, saying like, yeah, I did it.
Cellblock Tango, super famous.
Yeah. I just was kind of, I really hated how like I would get a little bit of story and then it's everybody is in these sexy jumpsuits and we're gonna sing about something. And I'm like, I've already had 2 songs like this. I don't need more. So I was like, I'm gonna go watch our other one, our other shared topic. So yeah, it was not great.
Okay. Fair enough. That's kind of what I thought when I watched it. I was like, I don't think Lauren's going to like this very much.
Nope.
And I also don't think Josh is going to like this very much. But we're going to see. What do you think, Josh?
I turned this off for moral reasons.
Okay.
I did not finish it. I got to the man hate song where they're like, men suck and sex is great and I'm a black lady. And I was like, this is garbage. I don't want to give myself more garbage to watch. There is too much garbage in this world. I don't agree with this message. I don't agree with the story that they're telling. I don't agree that there's a song about justifying killing a guy because you don't like him or he didn't like you. Negative 10 out of 10. It's awful. This show should not be as popular as it is. It should not be as well known as it is. You should save yourself from watching this garbage.
Okay. That is literally what I expected from both of you. I don't like this either. I don't think it's good. I think this is massively, massively overblown. The fact that this is often rated as one of the best musical movies of all time is wild to me. But I like some of the songs. We were talking about last week. What was it? What movie was it? There was a movie, and my specific point was like, I don't know anything about this character. I don't know her motivation, so I can't get behind her at all.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? Yes. Couldn't get behind her at all. Didn't understand why she was doing what she was doing. This main character, I can kind of follow because I get that she's just like a vain person who wants the spotlight, and that's why she's doing what she's doing. I don't like her. It's not a character worth following, but like I can kind of get behind it. I can kind of go with the story because I kind of understand where she's coming from. So you lead you through, and all these people suck. Like everybody absolutely sucks. But you have some set pieces that I do think were quite good. Like the Man Hate song, I think is quite well done, even though it's just a Man Hate song. Don't really like the song, but it's well done. There, later on, you both dropped off, but there's a lawyer that shows up, and the lawyer's whole point of view is to shift public opinion about our main girl, and it's all corrupt, to make her the famous bright star. It wasn't really her fault. It's all corrupt, it's all nasty, and the person that gets hurt the most is the guy that she was cheating on at the very beginning. And he just keeps being hopeful. And they lie about having a baby, and he just keeps being hopeful. And at the very end of the movie, this guy gets completely crushed. But along the way, the lawyer is shifting public opinion. And there's this song where he's the puppet master, and he is puppeting everybody as they're doing public press conferences. And it is hauntingly good. Like, really, really, really well done. Very impressive. I don't like this movie, but I can recognize that there are parts of the movie, parts of the songs that artistically are done exceptionally well. Um, it's not one that I want to rewatch again, but that scene, the courtroom scene, and all of the cinematography that they put into the courtroom scene is very impressive. Like, they do a good job with it. I like the song, but your main message is still following some really, really nasty people that are just nasty, who crushes this guy who just wants to have a family and just wants to love this main girl. And there's no real happy ending for everybody. Everybody just kind of gets screwed over. And I think the point of the show is that darkness just screws everybody and you should probably not do it. But you have to dwell so deep into that darkness and that nastiness that it's just not worth being a part of. I didn't like it. Didn't get a negative as low as you guys. I probably gave it a 3 because some of the scenes are just really well done. They just are. Yeah, but I don't blame you guys at all. I really don't. Literally all. This should not be as popular as it is. It just shouldn't.
Yeah, I think I've like heard or seen like little bits of like the jail tango or whatever. And then when I saw that pop on and I was like, oh, this is where it's from.
It's super famous. It's one of the most famous musical bits in musicals.
Because like I was looking at, and the cast is like stacked. You have Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger. I'm gonna butcher her name. But then like you have John C. Reilly, who is the husband, and like that's where I already hated our main girl, where she was like, "Oh, my husband's gonna lie for me. Oh wait, now he's telling the truth. Oh, you're no good. You're no good." And I was like, I already hate her.
She's just a terrible person.
And Richard Gere, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't. He's the lawyer.
I was like, I didn't make it there.
he is very good. Like, his stuff is the best. The lawyer stuff is the best part of the movie. It just is.
And Queen Latifah. I think probably the reason why it does get a whole bunch of attention is because of the cast. Is the only thing I can think of.
It was popular before it was a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Extremely popular. It's a huge one.
It's a big feminist movement messaging movie.
Wrong message.
All That Jazz is a very, very catchy song. I don't really like the imagery with it, but it's a very catchy song. It's just... There's a lot of problems with the movie. There's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, another one that I'm kind of just like glad I marked off. Don't ever have to watch it again.
I'm not.
You wish you wouldn't have seen it.
I wish I hadn't have seen any of it. I think it's an evil movie, full of evil messaging, and it's not good. The 4 songs I got to, I didn't like. Because I'm a big lyricist. I'm very big into the lyrics of songs.
Yeah.
And this is just pure evil lyrics. That's the only way I can describe it, as evil.
Because it's just so trashy.
It's trashy. The song is literally one song, and it's like, we're all women. All men are evil. All men just abuse us, so we're going to treat them like crap and kill them. And I'm black and I like sex. That's literally one song. Can we not? Can we say that everybody has good in them? Can we say that people try and do good?
Nasty people. These aren't supposed to be good people. They're slimy, nasty people.
Yeah,
right.
but
I
the
don't
people
believe
who
there
are
truly evil people. I believe everybody tries to do good. Start with the assumption of trying to do good. That's what I believe about people. I believe people are innately good. The message in this is very similar to how I believe. Uh, what's that drug movie? Everybody, Breaking Bad. Is the message art is people are innately bad. People are innately evil, and I don't believe that. Every villain is trying to do good. And if you go back and you look at the best villains in movies, in stories, in everything, every single one of them is trying to do good. We can look at the most evil, despicable people in history, and they were trying to do good. They were wrong about what they did, they were wrong about their methodology of doing it. We were just talking about Hitler. But Hitler was trying to do good.
What good?
Bring Germany back to power and relevance, save the country from utter chaos and uh, poverty.
Before Hitler went all kill the Jews, he did a lot of good things for the German people as far as finance goes. Like he
And again, we
changed
can
the economy
disagree
of the country.
with the Jew thing was wrong, but a common belief in the 1940s was God is punishing Earth because the Jews rejected Jesus.
Yeah,
So we can say now that that was awful and horrible, and it is, but he was still trying to do good. He was still trying to get rid of the problem.
How do you think Stalin was trying to be good? I'm genuinely curious about this because that's one where I don't know the answer to that question.
He was trying to bring equality to all the people. Is that not a good thing to push for?
By killing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of their own people?
Yeah. Get rid of the problem. But like I said, their methodology is wrong, but his motivation is innately good. He's still trying to bring everybody down on the same pedestal, right? That's the whole mantra of communism is bring everybody down to equal footing. I don't think that's innately bad. We can disagree with that moral. We can say, people are meant to succeed or try or, do all of these things. But it would be wrong to say he wasn't trying to do good. Right? There are some really awful things that have happened in human history. But it is wrong to say they weren't trying to do good because they were.
Define good.
Well, that is different for everybody, right? That's why we can say Hitler is still wrong, right? What he did wasn't good. But from his perspective,
he's trying to do something good.
He was trying to do good.
Definition and perspective of
his good. Definition and his perspective of good. Yeah, agreed. 100%. We all disagree on what good is. We can all disagree on certain morality standpoints. We can all disagree on different things. But every person in human history has been trying to do good. Not a single person was like, I'm setting out to be the biggest bastard this world's ever seen. Yeah. Nobody has ever done that. Nobody's ever said that.
Yeah, I think.
And if you look at actors, the ones who play the best villains, what's his name? He's from Forever Strong. He plays a villain in so much stuff. He was the dad. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about, right?
No. All I got was Forever Strong, the dad.
He plays the guy's dad, Neil McDonough. I have a ton of respect for this guy. He was once asked in an interview how he's able to portray villains so well. And his answer was, because I don't view them as trying to be bad for the sake of being bad. He plays them as if they're trying to be good. They're trying to do good.
Yeah, and I think that is a huge distinction to make, is that it's these people's perception of good and point of view versus like
Yeah.
overall good, because like you said, we all have different.
Do you think there's a point where that can change? Sorry for cutting you off, Lauren. Um, like, was Ted Bundy still trying to do good at the end of his life when he's gotten the systems, the mind frame of being a serial killer and raping these women?
Yeah.
How?
It's
I
messed
think he's
up.
twisted. I think he's wrong. I think that like his mind doesn't work properly.
Yeah, I think that's
But
like a mental
we
illness
watched
issue.
we watched Blackbird. I read the book on Blackbird. He thought he was doing good. Right? Like their minds are so screwed up that they don't comprehend it. They're literally insane. But from their point of view, they're trying to do good, be good, have good things happen.
Yeah, because like in that perspective of good, it's like what benefits them, what benefits, um, and they don't really see the downside of what they're doing. Um, Not good
Yeah.
as in this will definitely bring peace to the world.
Yeah.
Not
It's
that good.
their definition of good, which is wrong. Like
Yeah.
most people can agree that's wrong. But they're still, from their perspective, doing good.
Yeah, whether it's just a beneficial good to them personally or yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
So
yeah.
just to loop this all back, I adamantly oppose the message that some people are just evil. And I super adamantly oppose the message that an entire group of people is evil.
That's fair. But if well, so Ted Bundy thinks that he's doing good things. He is releasing these women or whatever it is. I don't know what it is specifically with Ted Bundy. It's weird that they don't get into that with the documentaries because I've watched quite a bit with him, but they don't really. Um, couldn't these women, the best thing for them, the good thing to do is get rid of their husbands because their husbands were no good, so they are trying to pursue the good. I
So
don't want to defending a movie that I think is bad, but do you get what I mean?
so like
But their message isn't that. Their message is he didn't give me what I want, so it's okay to kill him.
Which they think is good, correct?
No, it's there's no good to it. They're not saying, "Hey, he's bad to me." Right? There is some of that. There is a lot of man hate. There is a lot of men are evil messaging. But the women aren't killing them because of the bad things the men are doing. They're killing them because the men are in the way. They're killing them because I deserve better than to be treated like a goddess. I deserve absolutely everything. Right? There is no portrayal of good. The innate messaging in Chicago is some people are evil and some people are less evil, and it's okay to kill the more evil ones, and they're men.
Is that what you took from it, Lauren?
I didn't take anything from it.
Okay, wasn't even worth a thought.
I like legit was I just remember watching this and being like, this is just a man hater song. And I'm like, I don't like that. Cause like, I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of reasons to like I know some people who are like, all women are awful because they rejected me or whatever, and I'm like, I think it's very funny. I've had a lot of horrible interactions with men, and I don't hate men. I don't like those specifics that did those things, and that I've had interactions with them, but I don't lump everybody into a group. I just think I'm like, that's just lazy thinking, and people need to get better at critical thinking and realize that everybody is way more complicated than they think. Well, way more complicated yet simple. that doesn't make any sense, but like it, people aren't just the one interaction you've had with them. Um, like there's so many things going on with everybody else, a whole life going on with everybody else, and you just don't know what's going on. You can't judge anybody for like you just don't know anybody. You don't, so you can't really judge. And I just hate that people lump people in groups. And what's that sound that's going around right now? It's like, Robert, it's pissing me off. That's what I think of. But you guys haven't heard that? It's so funny. Maybe somebody on this internet knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, it just makes me mad that people don't get to know individuals and will very much just lump somebody into a group of things and think that they know everything about them because of one interaction or two or whatever.
Or attribute.
Yeah.
Or characteristic. Like they're male or female, so they're bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm like, good. There's like something that somebody mentioned where they're like, oh my gosh, this world is just so horrible. And they're like, get to know your neighbors and it's not as bad as you think. And I try to think about that a lot and just try to like ground myself and like, yeah, I should get to know the people, like people around me, and the world's actually not that bad. So.
Well, that good final message from Lauren is all like hopeful and stuff. We'll end this episode. We appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and keep going forward. Make tomorrow a little bit better. See you guys. Bye.